I know I've been away for a long time. Well, yeah, a little over a month now in total time. So, one thing is, I'm probably going to be sounding a little bit different because I did get a new headset for my birthday slash channel anniversary. It's funny how I decided to make those two line up. Not really, but so I still don't have all the perfect settings. I did some tests, and I think it's better, or that my voice sounds good. But yeah, just for reference, my headset is the Turtle Beach Air Force Recon 50P. So, if you guys have any questions, that's what I'm using. So, yeah. Also, by the way, let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, the game's too loud or too quiet, or my voice. I might actually need to turn the game sounds down because I just turned my headset up to max and it might be a little too loud. So, I'll do that just in the middle of the battlefield. Why not? Master volume down. Okay, that sounds better. Yeah, I'll have to get back used to all the controls. So, man, where do I begin? Because it's been like a month or so now. So, let's see, I'm back in school. I'm not liking it. I've never liked school, so that's nothing new, really. I got Walker in 2 of my classes, Spanish and pre-calc. I am taking honors pre-calculus. So, hooray. I have a few math problems. Like, I've already done a math problem or two that has taken up an entire sheet of notebook paper. Yeah, that problem was to find the area of a triangle, and you're only given the points on a graph. So you have to find the distance, find if it's the right triangle, and then do the area of the triangle. It's fun. It actually isn't that bad. It's just tedious, really. It's just so long. It's like, ugh. Also, Tuesdays and Thursdays, or sorry, just Tuesdays, we have lab. So we go to school. So I'm taking 6th period chemistry, honors chemistry at my school. So that means my lab slot is 8:30 to 10, I think. It's my lab slot. So basically, I go to school at that time, and we do labs. It's actually not that bad. If you can just wake up for it, it's not that bad. And I'm glad I picked the earliest one because here's the thing. If I chose a later one, then I would kind of start working in the morning. Then I would have to go to lab, and then I would have to finish after lab. So it kind of breaks up my schedule. So I chose to do it early in the morning. So, not terrible. Lag. So, yeah. All fun. Our first lab was actually finding the boiling points of alcohols. The only bad part is that if you have more than 10% error, you actually have to write a paragraph explaining how you got that high of an error, or how you got the error. So, one of the chemicals that, or alcohols that we did was impropanol, I think. My group got 30% error on it. 30% error. That's, hey, at least it helps me write out my paragraph with so many possibilities of what we could have messed up. And I think we have, I haven't confirmed, but we might have another chemical or alcohol that is above error. So, yeah, not the most fun thing to do, but at least it's not one of our lab write-ups. Yeah, last year I was in honors biology, and we had to do a, well, mold lab, where over months we collected photo samples of mold growing on slices of bread, and then we had to write a huge long paper discussing all the data. I didn't do so good on that, but yeah. Let's go on good. History's not doing so well. At least I didn't do terrible on the quiz that was Friday, but I didn't do great on it. But we do have a test coming up, I think. Homework and stuff for that, so, you know, it could be worse. But it's not that bad. Math is doing good. I'm taking, this one class, which I don't... It wasn't... Okay, I had a choice, but I decided to go with the judgment of my mother and sister, who... kind of like the song in Rapunzel, Mother Knows Best. They kind of know best. So I listened to their advice. So I'm taking this class, ACT Prep. And so, yeah. Basically, right now we're still in the stage of actually taking an old SAT. So, yeah. Fun. Other than that, classes are going fine. Oh, and stream. I actually recently took my driving license test. And I passed. Yeah, me and my sister actually got the same exact grade, apparently. And things that we were counted off on, our father did suggest, hey, you need to be doing this differently, kind of thing. So yeah, you know? Oh, and also, okay, so, when I was taking the test, there was just, so, parallel parking. I forgot to put it in, drive when I was pulling out of the parking space, and so I kind of either bumped into or got really close to bumping the cones behind me. Yeah, I had to get my license. Actually, I already have my license, but I had to have them before this coming Friday, because here's the thing. This Friday, I lose my ride. And I lose my best friend, too. So. Yeah, my sister's going to college. It's not that she's going to be super far away. She's only like 3 hours away from our house. But, you know, I don't want to lose her. And I say lose her, but you know what I mean. it's not like she can just quickly run up here uh, for an afternoon for dinner or lunch or something, and then be back at her school within a few minutes or something like that. It's a little bit of a drive, but you know, well, it's fine. Unfortunately, her move-in date is during the day on Friday, and I have school on Friday, so I won't be able to help her move in. Granted, it's not like I would be doing much anyway. I'll just kind of be there with her, but I think my dad and I are planning in a few weekends to go visit her, which will be good. After, you know, she settled in a bit. Yeah, I have to taunt 5 people. Bye. I missed. So, let's see. It's been 3 years since this channel's start. So, I know I didn't do an actual thing on the anniversary of the channel, but because A, school, and B, I was doing stuff that evening as well. Last year was different because it was a Tuesday, so, you know, I could quickly do my schoolwork, then play games, but school day is a little bit different for me. So yeah. And also, with that, that means that I'm another year older, as well as this channel. So last year, I'm pretty sure I said that I was turning 16. That means I'm now 17. Man, that's... Man. I've grown a lot. Just the other day, my mom sent me a picture of my first day of school several years ago. And man, I've changed a lot. I have different glasses. Sorry, I have glasses. Yeah. So, yeah. So, let's see. What I got for my birthday. Let's see, I got... Well, the headsets I'm using. And I got the... I don't have it in my possessions because, you know, it's not out yet. But... And... My mom and sister haven't got it for me yet just because they didn't know my PSN login. So, I'll have to give them that in a minute. Or, by a minute, like tomorrow or something like that. I'll give it to them. But so, I'm gonna get the Spider-Man game, the deluxe Spider-Man game. And just that, plus this headset. Was there anything else I got? Oh, and some pants for my mom. And then my dad, he got me a $50 gift card to this awesome ice cream place that I love. He got me the gift card last year, and just recently, like, it still has like $2 left on it. But man, it's a great ice cream. And he also got me, I don't know the type of bow, so he hasn't got for me yet, but he's going to get me a Genesis bow. Because, well, I do archery, and so I don't know if he's planning on getting me the arrows for it. Or, sorry, not arrows, but the target. If he does, then great. If not, then I can use it for definitely a lot of strength training, just by pulling it back and then putting it back. Not letting it go because, you know, that's dry fire. That's not really good for your weapons. There we go. Now I no longer have to taunt anyone. I'm gonna run back for a second just to regain some health. If I just angle myself properly, man, you can actually shoot people from around the corner. That's a little bit broken, in all honesty. Oh boy, yeah, there's a lot. Oh, and also, this wasn't for my birthday. Did I say it on live stream? I can't remember if I mentioned it on my last live stream. I think I did, but, you know, that was a few weeks ago, so I'll restate it. But I pre-ordered the deluxe version of Battlefield 5. So, they just recently had a closed alpha, and so there'll be a closed beta coming up here in a few weekends, I believe. So, you know, that'll be awesome. They have announced some of their archetypes. So, if you don't know what that is, the best I can explain it is subclasses. You have your classes like Assault, Engineer, or Support, Medic and Sniper, or Recon, or whatever. And then your archetypes are like your subclasses. So, Grenadier is the only confirmed Assault archetype. Then you have other stuff. But one that is going to be awesome that I will use a lot actually will be the Recon archetypes. So, Recon is a sniper. Its two archetypes are Sniper and Paratrooper. I am so gonna be using Paratrooper because it has like it has a silenced SMG, silenced pistols, pretty good kit to it as well. You know, its abilities and stuff like that. So that is gonna be one that I'm gonna be playing around with a lot. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm trying to convince Walker to pre-order it too, just because I believe there are special archetypes. Because I know that the pre-order version and deluxe version allows you to pick 3 out of 5 archetypes. For deluxe. So, or it's a special archetype, so I don't know what the special ones are yet. They haven't announced them, so I'll hope to see them in the beta. And by the time it's beta, a lot of stuff is actually going to be finalized. So it'll be interesting to see what they all have. And okay, that's good. Oh man, that Chomper just got launched, ragdolled by that train. Love ragdoll effects in video games. Yep. So yeah, one thing that I know I'll do is during the beta, I think there are 2 betas, Beta A and Beta B, I'll call it that. Beta A is for, I don't quote me on this, but I think there are 2 betas, so if there is, then Beta A is a pre-order beta, and Beta B is everyone's beta. And definitely during Beta A, kind of closer to the beginning of Beta A, I'm going share play it the game with Walker. So basically, he takes control of my account for an hour, and then he can see if he likes it, and if he really likes it, he can go ahead and pre-order it before it's released, or before the end of the Beta A. And if he doesn't, then he can have more time to play with it in Beta B. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Also, in September, I forget when, I just know that sometime in September, like maybe September 17th, actually, I can confirm this, if September 17th, it's a Friday. If not, then I don't know. Let's see, September 17th is a Monday, so it's either 14th or 21st. I don't know which one. But that is when the Spider-Man game comes out. I'm looking forward to playing it. I just heard a loud popping from my headset. I don't know if you guys heard that. Okay, so, see, this weekend I was going to try to go to see my family, but, yeah, it's my sister's last weekend here, and she doesn't really want to go up with her last weekend. She still has to pack, and she wants to see her friends and stuff like that, so we didn't go up to see them, but I think, so next weekend is my sister's moving week or day. So that means my mom is going to take off her work. She's a teacher or curriculum director I think, for her school. My old school. Really good school, by the way. It's grown a lot in the past few years. We were hit by a train. Man, I wish I could see that. I wish there was a replay feature. But so yeah. So she's going to take off. So that means that for that weekend, I think I'm going to be back over here. At least starting Friday. Basically, every other weekend is with my dad. And then the other are with my mom, so that kind of schedule. So since she's not gonna be here Friday, that means I'll stay over here, and I think that's when my dad and I plan on going to see my family. And if we do, then I believe that's when, well, it was my grandmother's birthday the day before my birthday, so we'll go see her, we'll exchange gift kind of things in person, and then what I'll do is, if I didn't get something that I thought I mentioned to my dad, but I guess I didn't, then I'll go with my money and go to their Best Buy and buy myself. So what I want to buy is a Western Digital internal hard drive. Why Western Digital? Well, A, it's compatible with the PlayStation, and B, it looks pretty fine, and like also, it's not a super expensive one. It's an SSD hard drive, I think, or HD SSD, or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. Let's see, who do I want to be? Law P. Let's play Law P for a little bit. So maybe Cactus, and then I'll go from there. But so yeah, it's it's on the cheaper side of internal hard drives, but it's also of good quality, so yeah. So I'll get that, and I'll try to do it sooner rather than later, so I can have my uncle help me install it, and then I'll do all the installing programs. Because right now I have a half a terabyte uh, that comes standard with the PS4. I don't know if my PS4 is a PS4 or PS4 Pro, but whatever it is, it has a half a terabyte hard drive. So some of the Western digitals you can get, I think it goes, their max is 4 terabyte, but those are like $100 or so dollars. But then you can also get like 2 terabytes, which is like $86. So not the most expensive for pretty good storage space. Like, so you know how I got the Mad Max game and did it for a live stream or two? Well, I actually had to delete that game because this game said that it wouldn't run if it didn't have the proper amount of megabytes. And so, Battlefield 5 and Paladins are loading. Paladins should be loaded by now. I don't know why I haven't deleted that yet, because hey, it's a fun game, but I don't know if I'll play it 100% anymore on my channel. I might. It's pretty fun. I do actually have it on the Nintendo Switch, so I think I'm going to try to play with my cousins sometime. Also, lately I've been playing Fortnite with my cousins, so I haven't since school started, but I want to try to get back and play with them. Oh boy. But so yeah, if I can get a 2 terabyte hard drive, that'll cover me for the new Battlefield 5 game, the Spider-Man game, and like maybe I can get back up Overwatch and play that again, and I'll be able to have Rainbow Six Siege, the new Division that's coming out like next year or so. So I'll be able to hold a lot of games before I have to delete them. So that's kind of my plan. If I get that as a gift, then great. If I don't, then well, I'll have to use my own money, which won't be terrible. Oh, also, today I was printing out my grandmother's birthday gift, but yeah, there was a huge, colossal error. So today I did adjust my build platform, so I made it taller or shorter, because I was also printing out her gift, but there was an error. Not only just the lack of filament, but the front part of it curled up. So I took that as I need to adjust the build platform. And when I did, I think I adjusted it too high. And so on my next print, I think the filament stuck onto the build platform. And then it just started to clump up and more PLA started to pour out, and man, it was a mess. I still haven't cleaned it all up. What I'll have to do for it is I'll actually have to take the what's it called? The extruder and all the components that make up the extruder. I'll have to unscrew those and see where exactly the PLA has spilled, and then I'll have to clean it up. Depending on where it's spilled, I'll try to be as cautious as possible. If it's spilled on the, you know, what's it called? Heat plate, I think. Then that I can be a little less careful because, you know, it's iron. It's just solid iron, I believe. But if it's cut on like the back of like the fan blades, or the housing of the fan blades where there are wires, then I'm gonna have to be very cautious. And also, I don't know the exact heating point of the PLA, so, well, so that I'll have to be also careful about. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Oh wait, I don't think I mentioned this. Okay. So, I'm pretty sure 90% of people on the internet, especially if you're like me, who they get a lot of their information and a lot of their entertainment from the internet. So like, if I don't have work to do or any stuff like that, school and nothing like that, then normally what I would be doing is I would be on YouTube watching videos. Kind of like I was today. For a lot of the day. After a while, you know, it gets a little bit boring because you start running out of newer content and you have to find people that you haven't watched in a while. So, you know, after a while, But if you're kind of been on the internet for a while, you might know a person named Grant Thompson, the King of Random. Pretty big YouTuber. Awesome dude. He does a lot of DIY stuff. So, in one of his earlier project videos, he creates a backyard foundry, so something that can melt metal. So just recently, I took, well, inspiration from him, and I made myself a backyard foundry. So the other weekend, I ran it, but as of lately, I haven't set it back up yet, because where I did set it up, I was at my grandparents' house, and, you know, they had a closer outlet, and it was good weather. It actually hasn't been... Today it rained a lot, so I couldn't really have done it. So, also, one problem I do have with it is I bought one size too big of a cauldron, or a crucible. And so, yeah, to actually load in the charcoal, you actually have to break into pieces, which isn't that fun. That means and right now I still haven't secured the hair dryer, my air source, into the back, or into the tube that is the air intake kind of thing. So, you know, so it's still like a two-person process. If I could get one size lower of a crucible, then I can just shove a whole charcoal briquettes in there at a time, and you know, that would decrease how many people have to actually work on it, kind of thing. Also, maybe I can get to hotter temperatures. I know I can get to hotter temperatures, especially if I use like a shock vac export. If I use that, then I think I can get more, or I can get more air flowing out, which more air means hotter coals. So, you know, right now I'm good where I'm at because I can melt aluminum, and I don't really plan to melt anything truly much higher. But, one shot. But yeah. So, that's the thing. So, and maybe I can still try this weekend. Tomorrow, I have homework to do. A lot of math. 2 paragraphs in science that technically don't have to be done until Tuesday, my next lab day, so I can work on it Monday, but I would like to try get it out and finish with this weekend. Because, you know, why put something off when you can do it today? Granted, I could have been doing work today, but, you know, didn't really want to. I have several things in math, and I have to read one chapter of the Scarlet Letter. Granted, I used an audiobook, so it reads it to me. Which, honestly, if it just takes you longer amounts of time, or you just want to, find an audiobook of the book that you're reading in class, and just do it through that. Instead of actually, you know, reading it yourself, just have the book open beside you and follow along. Just have like a YouTube video or other reading site. Read the book while you're following along. For me, it actually speeds up my reading tenfold. Because I get... sometimes I don't pay a lot of attention, or sometimes I have to reread text because I don't necessarily understand it, or stuff like that, so it just helped me read stuff faster. But yeah, so the math will take me the longest, but other than that, I also have to go to church. But then after that, then I think I can run my foundry. And if I do run my foundry, I want to try to make like tangible items. So I want to do more molding than I have done. Granted, I've only ran my foundry once, and I really just I only had 4 cans in it, 4 cans and a handful of aluminum foil. So, you know, not the biggest test run, but it was a successful test run nonetheless. But what I want to do... Okay, so, first off, there will be a school project towards Christmas time. And how I know it towards Christmas time? Because it's periodic table of elements, but Christmas tree version. So it's going to be a Christmas tree periodic table of elements. Basically, what you do is one student does one element, and at the end, our teacher will string Christmas lights between all the elements in kind of their order. It'll look really cool, I believe. And since I have my foundry, I'm like, okay, what I can do? I can melt metal and actually have ingots on the board, or even take the thing that she gave us to do it, the size of it, and make that out of aluminum, and then kind of just make the whole project out of aluminum. If I even want to, or even could, I could take the words of it that I put on my paper, which most likely is just name of element, element symbol, protons, neutrons, electrons, basically, you know, the periodic table, you know, aluminum. I just put all that in. What I could do is I could actually not have that poking out, but I can have that receding into the project itself. And so then paint inside, and I don't know. Yeah, because I haven't been confirmed as aluminum, and I hope to get aluminum, but if not, I think I can manage copper, especially if I ramp up the what's it called? Especially if I use like a shock vac export for my air export, then I can most likely melt copper. But I would like copper and lead I could also do, but lead I don't really want to do because, you know, it's lead's toxic, and it can actually put out toxic vapors, I believe. I think that was lead that I saw that did that, but might have also been someone else. That was actually giving off toxic vapors. So, you know, not something that you necessarily want to be working with, especially if you don't really know what you're doing, like me. So, if not, then I can try to find some bismuth crystals, or some bismuth, and, well, make bismuth crystals. And you know bismuth crystals look like. They're actually really beautiful. They're like multicolored, and also, I think you can melt bismuth in your oven. Because it has a really low melting point, so oven or blowtorch, and you can easily melt it. I think. So, that's something that I could do. But I would like to do aluminum because I have a lot of cans. By a lot of cans, I mean enough to make a pound or more of pure aluminum. Ooh, I can see from here. I need a bigger magazine size. I think I can play one more game before I have to go to bed. I have to go to bed at 10:30, so 15-minute game. I think we can manage that. But so yeah. Okay, so my cousins, the cousins of my cousins that aren't my cousins, have want to do dress up as Fortnite characters. So I don't know exactly what kind, but they want like custom-made weapons, or they want weapons. And so they were planning to spend they were planning to spend like hundreds or so dollars on weapons made by other people that look exactly like their in-game counterpart. Or, you know, I could just make it for them for free. Hundreds of dollars for something that looks exactly like it, or free for something that looks really close to it, if you honestly think about it. So, and also I wanted to do this for them because, you know, they're family, and I really like my family. That's kind of why I wanted to go to see them, because, well, I miss them kind of. Captain Squaw. Yes. But so yeah. I wanted to do this for them. So, as it stands right now, my requests are the pistol, the hand cannon, and a hunting rifle, and a scar. My cousin, so I have my two cousins and their other two cousins are who I'm making it for. And so, okay, that was really smart. Wow, that's smart. So, my cousin, one doesn't know what they want. The other one wants a scar. Then my two cousins of cousins want... One wants a hand cannon, and the other wants the hunting rifle. The hunting rifle, I can do. I really just want dimensions from them. just so I know how big that they want their grips to be, and for the hunting rifle, I would also want, like, how long does the cousin want the butt of the gun to be? Because that's going to be made of wood. Because that's actually how the hunting rifle is made. 90% of it is actually made of wood. And then the other is, you know, the scope. So, and then, the one cousin that wants the scar, I'm going to try to see if there's something else. Because the scar is, well, mostly made 90% or 100% made out of metal. Plus, it's not like a tiny one. It's closer to a full-size Scar L. So, you know how much aluminum that's going to take up? More than I have. Plus, the mold's going to be huge. So there's a lot of room for, well, error. Kind of thing. So, I'm going to see if they would consider changing to a smaller handheld weapon or a hunting rifle. So, one of the pistols or a hunting rifle. Or an SMG. An SMG is fairly small. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have them. If I can remember, after this live stream, I'm going to text them saying I'm considering their weapons, and then I'll ask my one cousin who wants the Scar if they could consider a pistol or SMG or a hunting rifle. And I'll say that the hunting rifle is mainly going to be made out of wood. Yay! Battlefield 1 just finally finished installing. So that's that error thing that's in the top left corner of the screen. But so yeah. With that, I might have to get some wood. Which won't be... I can actually more or less just get almost like paint sticks. If I'm being honest. I could just do that route. But, like, take little... Like, instead of taking a big chunk of wood, I just take smaller chunks of wood, put it together in the shape of it, and then, you know, secure them together and then... Oh, wow. And then, you know, secure it down, then sand out the corners kind of thing. And then, of course, maybe use, like, what's it called, lacquer? I don't know, some staining stuff, maybe. If I don't stain, then I'm just going to paint it monochromatic, maybe. And since that's kind of why, depending on the cost of the stain and cost of stain per container, and how much I can get per container done, then I may or may not go that route, just because since this is not being commissioned, then sure, I could say, yeah, that's gonna be $20 per gun. But, you know, I don't really want to do that. They're family, and so it's like, sure, I could have them pay for a commission fee kind of thing, but I don't really want to. So it's going to be coming out of my pocket, essentially. Granted, you could say that if I get stuff, I could also use it for other projects, so that I could possibly give to people for commission, but I don't know. Also, one thing that I'm going to have to do. So the other day, well, first I have to figure out the dimensions that the cousin who wants a handgun, the handgun, I'm going to have to get their dimensions and basically just find out how big it needs to be. And I have wax, candle wax, from the dollar store. They're smaller than I wanted because I didn't truly specify to my sister, because right now, at least for this month, I pretty much have to drive with someone else, even though I have my license, so that means I don't have to have a licensed driver in my car with me. Paladins just got installed. But my dad, oh, I see that I have one person watching. How are you doing? So you'll probably not see this, or okay. So I was just talking about some stuff I was going to do. So my cousins. Okay, so I have two cousins that are connected to me, and then they have two other cousins. They live in the same state, kind of thing. I don't, but they want to be Fortnite characters for Halloween, and so they want to make it more realistic, and they want to have guns. And so, what they could either pay hundreds of dollars for like $400, $100 per replica gun for them, versus me giving it to them for free. I really did kind of try to convince them to let me make it for them because I really want to make it for them. Oh, Lightning Bolt Ult. Hey man, I actually have to end my live stream soon. I have to get off at 10:30, so this is my stream wrap up. But so, I have a foundry, so I can make their stuff out of metal. So, the two cousins that are connected to me, let's call them Blue and Little Blue. My sister is their Big Blue. I don't know, my young cousin just is called that, and she calls, one calls them Big Blue, the other calls her Little Blue. Cousins, am I right? And then the other one, I'll call her Wacky. Okay, so we got Wacky and Little Blue. Little Blue or Baby Blue, I don't remember. And then we have their cousins, T and W. Okay? So, T and W, one wants a hunting rifle, the other wants a hand cannon. And then Wacky wants a Scar. Scar is modeled after a Scar L, so it's a natural will weapon. But one concern, so I'm not getting commissions off of it. So everything that I do for them, granted I already have collected the aluminum, so, and cans and whatnot, so that's essentially free. The only thing that costs is the charcoal, but I already have a bag of that. So I'm thinking about how to do some of the stuff. The hand cannon I can just do in one full cast. The hunting rifle I'm going to have to do in a, well, two-part. And the two parts, let me get my channel up to read the comments. The two parts, part one is the barrel, so that's going to be made of full metal. Part two, let's see, Walker, hey man, just finished the paper for lead, cool, nice live stream, thank you. But so, yeah, so the barrel of the gun is going to be made out of metal, while the butt of the gun is going to be made out of wood. I'll have to look at the hunting rifle again and take some other sources to actually figure out what it looks like and, you know, get better dimensions. Yes. Create a foam copy. I have a styro. You have a styrocycer. Nice. Yeah, that is good, but there are some errors that can still come out of it. So, I do have wax. Like you said, Walker, the wax casting is going to be my best bet. Or, I say that will be my best bet. But, so, I don't have a lot of wax because I texted my sister the other day in school because she had to come pick me up from school so I could drive back. I'm borrowing her car right now. But, so yeah, I texted her and I didn't specify that I wanted big, like, I said decorative candles, but I truly kind of meant more on the line of, like, you know, the big candles with the big bases. that are just, they're not necessarily scented. They're like candlesticks but thicker. Uh, you can get, yes, wax, you can get great detail, but it's a little bit slower of a process. But styrofoam is easier. Buy candles at Goodwill. Yeah, Dollar Tree is also a good idea too for me. Uh, but so yeah, there are some errors that can come up, but the hand cannon, if I have enough candle wax, I'll ask Cutton W for the dimensions that he wants his hand cannon to be. Of course, the barrel of the hand cannon is going to be longer than the uh, grip of it, so I'll have to account for that and whatnot. But I'm going to take my wax, melt it down, and kind of get a bar of wax, and then I could do it with my 3D printer, but it's kind of like, the PLA is a one-time use, essentially, because there's really no way to get back in the bar, or into the size of it. So, to get back into the strands that you use to print. Yes, it does have a lower-ish melting point, so I can easily do it that way. But I think if I just hand carve the wax, it'll be fine. But, so, yeah. What I could do is, so, I'm going to do the hunting rifle in a two-stage process, barrel and stock. And I could either, A, get a big thing of wood that would cover all the stock. But that's not going to be cheap. Or, what I could do is I could just take smaller bits of wood and kind of connect them, and then shave down where I don't need, but pretty much just keep everything else. Which is actually most likely what, I don't know which I'm going to do. But if I want to make it look more realistic, what I could do is I could take like a staining substance and stain the wood. But here's the thing, since I'm doing it for them for free, sure, I could possibly charge a commission fee, but I already told them it was going to be free, and, you know, it's perfectly fine by me if I give it to them for free. So, that means that this is more of a fun project, and everything's coming out of my pocket, and so if I do the staining technique, that's going, you know, it's coming out of my pocket, so it's more expensive that way. But once I have the stock of it down, I can either paint it or stain it. I'll consider towards after I have the stock down. But so, yeah, I want to do this for them, and I'll do it for free for them. They're my cousins, so I'll do it for free. If my friends ask, maybe I'll say, that's a $10 commission. You know, I'm not gonna make it ridiculous, because A, I'm not a skilled craftsman in this, but I'm also not necessarily gonna give it to them for free. So, for example, if I was skilled enough in it, I could say, that's gonna be $30. But I'm not skilled, so that means it's not gonna look perfect, so I'll give it to them for less. Or charge them some. Staining is better. You can pick up a can of stain for $5 at Home Depot. In my opinion, staining is better. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know the exact price of the stain, a can of stain, but since it's $5, that is actually, in all things considering, that's cheap. Or fairly cheap. It's on the cheaper end. Especially if it's, yeah, it'll be cheap. So, I might go with the staining method, but still, So for Wacky, my cousin Wacky, I'm most likely going to ask her if she can pick well, another weapon, a pistol or an SMG, just because they're smaller and so I can get all in one print versus having to do workarounds. Because one, for something like that, for a scar, it's gonna be huge. Also, I'll have to ask Baby Blue or Little Blue, I forget which one she's called, but I'll have to ask her what gun she wants, and I'll also remind her that the bigger it is, the more chance of error will come by it, and the more resources I'll use, and because of that, there'll be more error. Depending on the same is cheaper, yeah. Let's see. Unfortunately, guys, it's that time of my live stream. It's wrap-up time. With this live stream, with my new headset, I'm saying that it's the start of there will be more live streams. I know that I was really off and on this summer. I was really busy, but now that it's back in school session, of course I'm gonna have to put a lot of time to school, especially this year, because junior year there's more work. But I will still, you can be looking to see my live streams on the weekends. So yeah, I hope to be doing this more because it's back in school and I have a new headset. Since I'm back in school, that means that I don't really have many trips. So that means that I'm in one spot longer, and that one spot is more accessible for me to live stream. So I'm glad to be back. You can be expecting a lot of new and good things from this channel. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching, and remember, take it easy.